This is a peek behind the curtain.
If you watch The Voice on TV, they record all of that almost in one sitting. Get an outfit change. Fool us a little bit.
No.
Don't welcome them back in 6 times. And they're wearing the same thing.
We're about to do the same thing. So,
That's why we should swap
really
shirts.
let
me put the vest on. I'll put the vest on.
the vest is a medium, so you're not fitting in that for sure.
Welcome to MVP, the Messiah Victory Podcast, the #1 Wells Lutheran podcast in Wichita, Kansas. Hosted by pastors John Rockhoff and Jake Jenswold, MVP is your go-to destination for lively conversation on hot topics with a biblical perspective. They'll also be talking about what's going on currently at Messiah and Victory churches. Today, the pastors are looking at a number of common sayings meant to convey a more secular type of wisdom and discuss how a Christian might respond.
We're back. Are we back? Are we back in live? Wow, we've been rolling the whole time.
None of this counts.
None of this is, we
Not
always
until you introduce it.
we always trust Leanne to edit, and then we find out she never really does.
Oh, I do a lot.
You mean there's a lot of any bloopers on the cutting room floor? That you could know that stuff that you thought, no, we got to get this out of here.
No, she just touches up makeup.
So maybe that's why I wonder where all the good stuff went. She just didn't make it. I didn't talk about my dog.
Oh.
Here's a fascinating thing. I told you at lunch, right? So 3-year-old dog, Elsie, the Shorkie.
This is not going to be on the podcast.
This should be because it's.
Well, you haven't introduced it, so we have no.
Well, we're back, and I'm gonna lead off with a dog story because we got real genuine content after this. But for now, I want to talk. So this is what dogs do, and we have cats, like 1 or 2, and what. Cats have litter boxes, and so dogs, for some reason, think maybe, those are doggy treats sometimes. So you think, get out of the litter box, I caught my dog using the litter box. Genius or problem? That's what I'm working on. Is that a genius thing that my dog has figured out to use a cat box?
If she had to go and she wasn't outside.
I chased her out of there, and she was using it, not like looking for goodies. She was using the cat box.
Smarter than looking for goodies.
She's going to eat a few
where do I
draw
draw the line? Because I'm thinking, how do I know what she's doing in there? She's a little dog, and she was sitting in the litter box, and I go, she's actually using the litter box. That's genius. I've never seen a dog do that ever. I'll never have to let that dog out again, right? That maybe not that much. So, once again, if our viewers have any of stories like that, advice, I don't know, to trust her, or is she just setting me up for failure?
Could be.
Okay, well that was the least serious thing. So, and
into the real content.
And thank you to those who did come back with the comments on Danhausen from the last podcast, whether he's very nice or very evil. So thank you for that. We did it. Did you sort through all those answers from the?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good. And so you'll give us the survey results at a later time.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to do it? How about we? Okay, I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 things to talk about.
Okay.
And don't look. I want you to give me a number between 1 and 7. That's the one we'll do. Completely random.
Yeah, 3.
1, 2, 3. Okay, these are all under the premise. When someone uses a secular statement to defend how they live their life or in conversation, what do we say back to them? Kind of came up in our Bible class a little bit. How do you take some of the common sayings that everyone uses that are usually the showstopper, the end of the conversation? How do you use that maybe to get into a religious conversation without being weird?
Sure.
You can be unique, you can be different. I know Leanne sometimes, you're on that fine line, but, right? We can be just, we don't want to be that. If you're weird, people stay away. And as Christians, we don't want them to stay away. We want them to still be in conversations with us and feel like we're okay, and maybe we're just a little odd, but not weird. So, what would you say 3? Life is a journey, not a race.
To where?
That's where are we racing to? Where's
the journey to?
So then, what are you talking about? So I'll be that guy and go, what do you mean? What do you mean to where?
Well, if it's a journey, where are you trying to go?
Well, I was just, life. I never.
Gotcha.
Life is a journey. It's not a race. So take your time. So what are you saying?
I'm saying if this is a journey, then it has to have a destination. That's how journeys work.
And then you get to, because Yeah, I get it. You don't have to race through life because it's a long journey, and it might be a short journey because it ends, and there is an ending. And so you can kind of get into it and say, yeah, it's always good to know where it's going to end. And they might. Thing is, if you get them to follow up with even something after that, then you kind of got where you've got a conversation going. And to say, well, you got to kind of know where it ends, and that helps the race. That helps the journey if you know what you're walking to. Because every journey we have here on this earth, there is a destination. So, hey, look at that. We knocked that one off. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's supposed to be the numbers. Come on.
2. Let's go 2.
True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. True statement, and can be understood as a Christian. Enjoy the present. Don't be anxious about the future. But if it's said in the secular world, what's the point? If someone would say something.
Yeah, that I don't have to think about my eternity. I don't have to think about death, right?
Without anxious dependence upon the future. I can live now and be calm. I don't have to depend on what the future is, which is not really true at all, because you are dependent on what your future is in Christ and what's going to happen afterwards. And so to use that thing about, live in the now, same kind of thing, without going past the now, because that's the part that we don't know, which is true in a sense. The future, we leave in God's hands. Unbeliever, secular world will just say, well, you don't want to talk about that because you don't know what's coming. And so just live in the now, because otherwise that'll drive you crazy and give you anxiety. And so that's an anxious dependence upon the future. No, my present doesn't depend on the future. Well, it kind of does.
Yeah, and the other thing, and again, I haven't put too much thought into these. I just saw them before we started this.
I studied them last night.
But so it kind of comes to that like happiness versus joy conversation too, right? Like true happiness can be in the present. Yes, when I'm on a golf course for 3 hours, I have happiness, right? Like this is but that ends. The happiness part ends, and then I gotta get back to work or whatever else it is, or the bad things that I didn't want to think about while I was out there, or I didn't think about. So like if that's the comparison here of like, yeah, if you live in the now, you can just be happy. That's way more distracted than it is actually like joyful, actually like feeling fulfilled and with purpose and all these things. So
it's actually we went to the baseball game yesterday, and some members invited us. It was a wonderful thing, and my wife texted and said, "You're in your happy place." Just watching a baseball game, not caring the world. And it made me, and it was one of the shortest games I've ever gone to in my life. It was barely 2 hours. I go, why, when I'm there in my happy place, it's 2 hours, and when I take my little brother, it's like 4.5 hours of buying him hot dogs.
It might be 2 hours either way. It just feels like 4.5 hours.
I said it was over 3 hours, like 11 to 9. This one was 5 to 1 or something. I go, oh, 2 hour game. It's time to go home. And I'm going, and my happy place is coming to an end, because at the time, live in the now. Don't worry about the future. But I think it's this avoidance, because if you don't think of it, you won't be anxious about it. Mm.
Live in the now and don't think about the future, because the future is way too scary, and then you won't be happy anymore. Well, you can think about the future and be happy. Yeah. Right. Like,
and when Jesus says, "Seek His kingdom, all these things are given to you, and don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will worry about itself. Every day has enough trouble of its own." Mm. It's kind of a neat thing he's saying. He goes, you got things to handle. Just take one day at a time. Mm. So he's even saying you don't have to worry about the future. But the reason is he just said he's taking care of everything.
Because your future is so secure.
It is secure. Right? And it's different from my future is unknown.
My future is so unsecure that I should find happiness here. Jesus says, no, you can live one day at a time. You don't have to be anxious about anything, because your future is that secure. Yeah. Right? Like there's nothing to worry about instead of everything to worry about there.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Cut that one.
Not looking. Okay. 5.
1. We did that one? No, we didn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did we do all? I missed one? Oh, I'm good. Don't look. Don't look. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it YOLO? I'll admit, I didn't know what it was before the thing, and I felt kind of foolish. Kids, they use these acronyms all the time. I'm just learning what 6-7 was, and it's so 2025 is what I'm told.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be 7-8 now.
You're past it.
Do we go up 7-8 now?
We might already be on 8-9.
I'm so out of it. I just get this dude that's 6-7. They just look at me like, okay, YOLO. You only live once. It really is. People write that. Where do they write that? Why would you write YOLO? Like at the end of an email or something? I've never seen YOLO.
Sure.
They
And you guys
Most
both
of the
do it.
time,
I don't know if
it's-
people say it anymore.
you're about to do something crazy, and so you go, YOLO.
I just learned LOL last year, so
Lots of love, huh?
And then there's Leanne sometimes would write some disturbing acronyms down, and that I was thinking, if that means what I think it means, you can't say that. But
Why did she do that?
who?
Leanne. You mean the other one, right? Not me.
Obviously.
If I say Leanne real quick, that's because they put the Lee on the end, and like you're Leanne with a small a. Well, then it'd still be one word. I don't know. Let's say we don't know which Leanne I meant. You only. Well, even to put that down, I don't know if I've ever, but have I seen it? And it's just where I go, I don't know what that means, and I read on.
Have you ever heard you only live once?
Yeah, I've heard that.
That's
You know what? It used to be you only go around once. Because it was a Miller Lite beer commercial with a guy on a big yacht out in the sea. You only go around once in life, so go for the gusto. So drink beer and get on a boat is what
Yeah,
it was.
no, that's exactly the YOLO life.
Well, that's what.
Nailed it.
I didn't. Did they call it the YOLO?
They didn't
life?
have hashtags back then, so
And this acronym.
you would have hashtag YOLO'd it.
I don't. I'm going to look for it now. Do people still use it? Because I've never seen it.
It's kind of like 6, 7 at this point.
Well, okay, it's right here in all caps. Like if it's in all caps, and does it have a smiley face usually behind it or something? But you only live once. Okay, what do you do with that? Someone throws that out. Well, you only live once. Say, yeah, but you keep living, or you say, well, yeah, that is true. But I remember our former district president, who is now with Jesus, would say, he said seriously in devotions, he goes, it's amazing how you do understand you have only one life to live and how much we can mess that up. And how people make choices knowing they only live once. And so there's that thinking, you only live once, so don't throw it all away. But when you use it this way, it's kind of like the, hey, get out there and grab what you can, because once you're gone, you're gone. It's almost that finality again. You only live once, and then there's nothingness. And how do we get them into a conversation? You only live once, but do you say, yeah, and it lasts forever? I mean, anything like that. I mean, you throw something out there where you want them to respond with asking for clarification. So something that makes them think.
I would almost, so just thinking about the mentality behind that, right? If you're like, yeah, YOLO, you only live once. It's almost like, well, how do you feel about that? Like, because that almost sounds to me like it comes from a place of fear, of like, you only live once, so I better not screw this up. I better take the chance, or I haven't taken the chances, or I made that mistake back then. I don't want to do it now. So you only live once. I got to do this thing, and it seems to come with a lot of sort of pressure and like baggage to that idea of you only live once. And there's a whole ton of peace in knowing like, yeah, you have this life, this time of grace that God has given you, but you don't have to freak out to seize everything you can, because once the lights go off, it's done. Like there's an eternity with your Savior Jesus, mistakes paid for. Whatever you feel like you missed out on, He fills fully. Like that, just Jesus takes the YOLO out of it, I guess. It's just such a interesting idea. But the world loves to, they live by these things.
So I'll be more conscious of it if I see it.
Yeah, definitely.
I know what
Ask them what they mean.
Say, what in the world is that? They don't like say YOLO, do they? Mm-hmm. Like they say it instead of writing it? I've never had anyone say YOLO. I probably thought they
Maybe
were
a certain type of person.
I probably
You thought they said Rolo and you wanted one.
Rolo dog.
Rolo, what?
Or I thought they were like Swedish saying hello or something. It's just an accent thing, maybe. YOLO. YOLO.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like the Swedish chef of the Muppets.
Yeah, I was going to go Frozen, but that works too. Yeah.
I don't watch the Frozen. Is there something in the Frozen? You got to have the kids do that. I got a granddaughter.
It says
maybe
Yoo-hoo, not YOLO.
Yoo-hoo? What?
Yeah, Yoo-hoo. Big summer blowout.
I don't see. I never had someone say, "Well, YOLO." I'd say YOLO. I think it's like goodbye or something. Boy, I hope I never said
it's
that.
It's not.
I hope I never.
And
said that guy's really old.
I like the idea that you've been ending all interactions when someone says YOLO. You think that's goodbye. Like, okay, well, yep, bye to you then too, and you just walk away.
Yeah,
that's
see you too.
This was middle conversation.
I don't think anyone said YOLO to me, because I don't know if it's
definitely a real
ever.
thing.
I don't think people have said that. It's not a YOLO. They might say you only live once, but I don't think they just shorten it. YOLO. Well, YOLO. I never had that.
Look, after this, just look it up on your phone. It is everywhere. You'll see nothing but YOLO.
Okay, well, love yourself first and everything falls into line. Ooh. Oh, this is the me generation, or what we're living in with, you got to love yourself first. It's just like, I always think when Jesus says love your neighbor as yourself, it's very very divinely intelligent when he says, I'm not asking you to love your neighbor more than you love yourself, because Jesus says, I know you love yourself a lot. If you could just get your neighbor up to that.
Yeah, if there's something we don't have to teach, it's love of self.
Yeah. So when we're having people that you got to learn to love yourself. Actually, that's me. Here's where the direction is. They're actually feeling the weight of their unworthiness, their sin, and something's got them down. And someone says, you got to learn to love yourself. Mm-hmm. It's we don't confess our sins and then turn ourselves internally and confess our sins and say, now love yourself. Then we talk about the mercy of God. Because we can't love ourselves. And if you're loving yourself, you're spinning things to try to say, I'm okay, you're okay, we're all okay. Let's not judge anyone. Let's not be hard on ourselves. You got to love yourself instead of saying, God loves you. I mean, when it comes from, even when people say you got to love yourself, they should be telling you that they love you instead of saying love yourself, because and everything else falls into line. It's truly the opposite. And people are just going to despair more. They're going to feel even more guilty when they do sin and say, I can't love myself. And you talk about people that take their lives, and so many of us say, how can you do that? Well, here's why: because they couldn't love themselves. And they didn't know that God loved them.
First, and everything else falls into line. It's a very lonely way to live.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about why people would take their life and things like that, it probably stems from a love of myself at expense of all others, where like I'm only thinking of me, and then guess what, my life still isn't great, and so I don't really love me, no one else seems to love me. Like, that's a recipe for despair. So if I heard someone say that to me, oh man, I'm gonna say that sounds lonely.
I think in something like this, if you're with a group of friends and someone is telling you about where they're really struggling, and that we would never say that line, but someone might say, you really have to learn to love yourself, and then it'll take care of, things will fall into line. That's when we would have a chance to interject and say, I don't really think that's true, because I may never really love myself on this side of heaven the way I am, at least part of me, but I know I am loved, and that's what makes a difference. And that's where because this would be not someone that would necessarily throw that line out in a one-on-one conversation. It would be kind of when you're in a group of people, and you got a mutual friend, and everyone's trying to say, come on, hang in there. That's another one. Hang in there. Hang on. It'll get better. We can add ones to this, but all this idea that you've just got to gut it out, and the one that I said too, or that I heard once, someone that was sinful that said, doing something, said, I don't agree with what you're doing, but I'll support you whatever you decide. Oh, thank you, because you're saying what I'm doing is totally wrong, but I'll support you by not making you stop, which is ridiculous.
We're not even encouraging you to, like, hey, you know that's wrong too.
Yeah, come on. That maybe if you, because you're not going to love yourself if you keep doing things wrong, and say, well, just, you got to love yourself. There's a reason you're not feeling that you love yourself, because you're feeling the weight of your sins. And anything that doesn't point you to Jesus is going to be, your dead end. So hopefully that's when we can jump in and say, that doesn't do it for me. And do it in a way, once again, where you're not, saying you didn't get the white sauce on your pizza, but you're saying, I think there's something better for us, and not that the other person is just,
That's so last episode, by the way.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, you got to be watching. Was that on the other episode? I get so confused. Sometimes it feels like we're just running straight through one to the next one. So, but yeah, I think that would be something.
Love yourself first. How about, I know someone who loves you more.
Hey.
Right?
There you go. I like
loving
that.
yourself.
I like that.
Jesus loves you more.
Because you may not love yourself, but someone does.
He still does.
Yeah.
I don't know what numbers I have left, so we'll have to look.
We got 1 left. We got 4 left.
Do 1.
1. The purpose of life is to contribute in some way to making things better. The reason you're around here is we're all here to make this a better world. Something like that. Well, okay, stewardship, sure. I'm going to, hug some trees and make sure I don't litter. and I'm going to try to be nice to people and hold the door for the elderly, which people do for me now, which is kind of confusing.
It shouldn't be.
When the lady at the hospital, the retired lady, walked me all the way to the room of one of my members, when she said she'll show me, it was like, do I look like I might get lost in here?
When you walked in, did she say checking in? Or?
She goes, I'll show you. I thought she was just show me where the elevator was. She rode up the elevator, walked all the way down the hall, and said, "Here's this room." Do I look like I really? But contribute in some way. So we get that as Christian stewards. But the purpose of life.
I just think that there's what my one-liner. You throw this at me, what can I say to you? The purpose of life is to contribute in some way to making things better. Define better. What are you making? What does it mean to make things better? Like everything that you do here, no matter how kind you are, no matter the money, right? Like you're going to die, and every person after you is going to die, and you will not have mattered at all. So that can't be the purpose.
And the Bible actually says things are going to get worse in the end times. The love of many will grow cold and all that. And I said, that doesn't excuse us from trying to make the world a better place. That's sanctification, Christian living, that we want to be better.
But how do we, Christian lens, looking at this, like how do you we can answer that, right? What does it mean to make things better? It means to give people Jesus.
Yeah, give them the hope.
Right?
You want it to be better. Let people know that there is a time when it will be better.
So Jesus' encouragement is to continue to let your light shine before men, but like if you are a secular person who wants nothing to do with Jesus, and this is your throwaway line to get rid of me as a Christian, the purpose of life is to contribute in some way, to make things better. You can't give me a better, because everything you're going to give me ends, and you've actually not done anything.
Yeah.
So it's just a very empty and a purposeless life at that point, right? What's the purpose of life? To make things better. In your opinion, better, whatever your opinion may be. So yeah.
Yeah. Purpose of life for us, twofold: to come to know Jesus and to share Him with others. There's your purpose in life. And
there we go.
If you know Jesus and you're still here, well, that means the purpose number 2. Let other people know in the way you can.
4.
4 is everything happens for a reason. Yeah, that one I have heard. Why don't they say EHFAR?
I think you just answered it.
Why? Because this doesn't flow like YOLO?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. When does something become an acronym? Only when it kind of rolls off the tongue? This way. EHFAR. AFAR.
AFAR.
I'm going to use that now to people. You haven't heard?
You know about it?
Everything happens for a reason? AFAR?
Yeah.
I can start a trend. I mean, this is good. Make a shorty out of this one.
Hashtag.
AFAR. And from now on, if someone says AFAR, it's EHFAR. Everything happens for a reason. And then you'll see them like the smartest guy in the room, and they'll seem like, oh, I've never, like I felt with YOLO, I didn't know what it was. So, EFAR. Everything happens for a reason. Sure it does.
Agreed.
Sure. Yes. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, no. But, who and what's the reason?
What's your reason?
Yeah, what's the reason? Why do you think it happens? And you really get to the whole thing about, okay, God says for His children, everything will work out for good. But I've always said, there is a reason, but you may not always see it. That's okay. And I think we are so blessed because very often we can see how God does show us and gives us a glimpse of how He's working. But for us to say, God, give us your master plan of everything that's happened in my life, which you've said, all things, even the bad things that I go through, turn out for my good. I don't have to have every blank filled in by the time I die. In heaven, you'll get the whole paper given to you. Oh, look at all that. But you don't have to in life. And that's the tough part for us because, that passage gets thrown out and some people like to fire back at it and said, well, everything happens for a reason. So they'll agree to that. But then when you say God says everything works for good, oh, I don't know about that because, this happened and I don't know why that would ever happen. And, my husband passed away, 20 years ago. How is that for my good? I don't know. God, sometimes He says it will.
I don't know, but everything happens for a reason.
And as a young pastor, probably less years than what you've got. You're still a young pastor, but I used to try to think of things when people came to me with their questions about what's God doing in my life. And I quickly learned to say, and not flippantly, I'd say, I don't know. And I said, yeah, you may never know.
But you do have a promise.
Yeah, and that's what faith is, being sure of what we hope for, certain of what we don't see. And it's a wonderful thing to say, you don't have to know. And to get past the frustration of that, to finally get over the hill, and then find the comfort in that. All right, God's got this. It's going to work out. I don't have to look for some signs or silver linings and everything. No. You can say, yeah, everything does happen for a reason, for God's reason. And guess what? If you're a child of His, it's going to be for your good. Everything? Yeah, everything. In His way. In the end, He's going to be for good. So when they say, AFAR, when you hear me say that, I maybe in the purely biblical way. So
That's exactly right.
I think that's gonna take off. That's gonna be a TikTok meme.
I think we only have 6. Huh?
I don't know. Did we do the luck one?
That's 6.
There's no such thing as luck. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. Okay, that sounds like a baseball sports jargon thing.
I think it is.
Preparation meets opportunity. Okay, someone got that.
That's
and wrote
a coach.
That,
I'm sure it's a coach.
And that made a short. Probably made lots of money because that makes preparation. We'd say there's no such thing as luck. I have banished it finally after years and haven't used it for years. Well, you were just lucky. I don't say lucky anymore. I'm careful
Lucky
with
you.
I'm lucky me. I'm even careful with fortunately, because I think that can be it's done right, but unfortunately, we start a sentence like I'd like to say sadly, or because fortune would have it. That kind of stuff can be, I don't know. I guess he would be taken the right way, but it's kind of like they are just lucky. And what is luck? You're just lucky. No, you were blessed. God sent His angels to keep you safe. You weren't just lucky you didn't get hurt. And I don't know if I hear it even that much from people. Maybe we've got it kind of purged from a lot of Christian rhetoric and Christian dictionaries in our own minds because we don't say luck anymore. Or do you say good luck? We might say that sometimes.
We still say that, yeah.
I don't know if I say
I think that's
I don't say it.
colloquialized, though, to the point that it's
If
just...
I hear it from you, I'm going to call you on it and say, "What is good?" I'll be like, I'll go, just what is that? What does luck mean?
I mean, I want your fortune to be good.
Like maybe it'll be for me, maybe not.
Exactly.
I mean, what does it really mean?
I hope it's good.
And you hope it's good. But you
My
say
hope
good,
is that your fortune is good.
And then fatal. That everything is fatalism. If it goes bad, well, it had to. That thing. But
Right.
But the luck could change it. I hope your luck changes. You've had a
we
rough
also-
month. I hope your luck changes.
We also tell people to break a leg, right? Like that's hey, that means go do good. And it's just been colloquialized that like break a leg means go do good. You can say good luck and you're saying, I'm hoping things, I hope things go well for you, right?
Which is, the opposite of Danhausen when he says you are cursed, right?
Oh my gosh.
Dan
And that's the little Easter egg. Was that the Easter egg? They go back and find out who Danhausen is. They get that little line there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
If you know what that is.
So much of the people that were clamoring for us to get back at it will probably wonder.
Are like, we were kidding. We're good.
What were we asking for?
10 was a good number.
Maybe we
Might have been one too many,
The
some
second
say.
season is kind of maybe lacking in true substance. They're talking about things I don't even know anything about. But AFAR. AFAR, everything.
Preparation.
It all happens for a reason. There were 2 more down that we can. You want to hit those, or are we going to save
we
those?
could wait.
Oh wow! Our producer
Hold.
says
I think we could wait.
we have so
Oh, hold. Yeah, big time hold.
we have so much.
You may keep your sheets if you wish, or I will also bring new ones next time.
I have cars I got to take in because they're all hail damaged, all 3 of them, and our house and our gutters. Did you get hail?
Yeah, but no damage.
Oh man, just it was all very evil and not very nice. So it's just
Bad luck.
Bad luck. Real bad luck.
Here's my dilemma is how vain am I that the newer car I have with 40,000 miles has a few little dimples that you can see. I just take the money and run, on the settlement. So then I, just say I'm not that vain because then the old ones are going to total and it's just a hassle, But AFAR, it all happens for a reason.
Hey.
That God knows why that's happening. I'm just going to trust Him because it's kind of a hassle. But
Yeah.
that's what we'll be doing today. So we got a couple for next time. So hey, keep sending those questions in, and remember the poll on Danhausen from the other episode that some of you already jumped in.
If you haven't yet,
already-
go back there.
it's already
Would you say
happened.
he's very nice or he's very evil? And I might just defy all recommendations and wear my Danhausen shirt next time.
I
You think?
Yeah. No, I think you absolutely should.
It's either that or one of my 14 cat dad shirts that people keep giving me, which, I'm not cat dad. I don't know why they keep giving me those shirts.
About your Hug Life shirt, you still have that?
Hug Life, I do.
Good.
I think it's shrinking a little bit over the years.
Oh, yeah, I get
It's,
that.
the washing machine does those things.
Yeah, it does.
They're not hot. I shouldn't put them in hot water. They shrink my clothes. So, Hug Life, it has a kitty with a bandana on it that, did you guys get? You guys did. Yeah. I have way more cat shirts than I should.
That number it's set at 1.
that you have?
No, I'm saying
that's-
you have 1, you've got too many.
Oh, well, people make them and give them to me, and it's kind of a joke thing, and it's just they're good lawn mowing shirts. But I had one on yesterday. I showed you.
I know.
I had something over it though, but I admitted I had the custom made one that it had 3 of the cats on there that were like giving me fist bumps, and I don't know where I got that. I think my wife did that for me. It's kind of weird.
You sound really bummed to be wearing a cat shirt.
Well, it kind of matched my wind surge hat, so I just put it on. I said nobody will see it, and then I showed you anyway. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just kind of glutton for punishment. So, hey, we might be back. But different
Maybe.
shirts on. Different shirts on.
Probably different shirts next
Yeah.
time.
So, if you like this, if you want to, you do the pounder smash. It's one of the other smash that
Yeah.
subscribes. They say smash. Is there an acronym for that or not?
Not yet.
You
You need to work on. That's your assignment.
more acronyms.
No.
Oh,
Work on it. On an outro. A goodbye.
yeah. We just don't have a way to go. We usually just get cut. And we don't even know it, and then we say, "Hey, is that where she cut us?" So, but things to do, people to meet.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Thank you for listening to the Messiah Victory podcast. Check out the show notes or video description to find our websites, socials, and the anonymous survey link where you can ask questions, request a topic for discussion, or just leave a comment.